What you gonna call it? What you gonna call it? What you gonna call it? Krishna, Buddha.
Hi, and welcome back to Naturally Better TV, Heal Yourself Now with Michelle Champaka. And today we have Jaz Goven, who resides in Chiang Mai, Thailand. She's here with me today at Muse Flower Retreat and Spa, and she's going to share this wonderful new technique called Fast Track Technique. Now, Jaz, I know your journey began in 2002, so can you tell us a little bit about how you got from there to here?
Well, I think like lots of healers, I started with my own burden, and my burden was a really bad back, and I started to investigate alternative ways of healing that, and that took me down all sorts of different paths. And then one day somebody told me that my physical condition was a manifestation of my emotional state, and my jaw dropped open. I'm like, wow. So I can do something about that. So I started to investigate different modalities, and that led me to all sorts of stuff. And I opened my own healing centers. I've had a few of those. I became a trainer for EFT. I work a lot with NLP and also hands-on energy. But what led me to this is my desire to have something simple, duplicable, that anybody can do, and that has no limitations. It also has to be permanent and easy to work with, and I think I've accomplished all of that.
Wonderful. Well, tell us a little bit about how Fast Track works, because I know that it is about working with a kind of higher consciousness, would you say, or the universal energies. Can you tell us a little bit?
that.
So how does that all work? You know, because a lot of people are like, well, what does that really mean? How does that work? You know?
When I first started working with this, I thought I was working with the conscious mind, which is what we think with, and changes its mind like a million times a day.
Right.
And the subconscious programming. I respect subconscious programming. And I know unless you change the subconscious, you're not going to get the results in your life.
Absolutely.
So that's how I started. And then I started to recognize that I was actually accessing information from a higher source.
Right.
Now, whatever that source is to you, doesn't really matter. We're all connected to it.
Right.
We just give it different names. So whether it's your superconscious, your higher self, God, the universe, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. They're just words.
That's
but
right.
It's that's bigger than you.
Wonderful. And this is what allows people to transform what? Like anything in their life? Like physical ailments, emotional, mental, spiritual. It seems like Fast Track is pretty unlimited as to what you can do with it. I mean, I've actually learned level 1 and 2 with, you know, Jaz, and was pretty blown away at the results of what it changed for me. And I'm now using it with my own clients and getting amazing results. And I love it. I love it. I'm so glad to have you on the show today. I love it.
So yes, it works with absolutely anything. The only thing that's going to limit you is your imagination. Because if you think about it, the easiest way to think about Fast Track is that it is allowing you to have that conversation with those parts of yourself that you're not able to have by yourself. So Fast Track is a combination of muscle testing. We use guidance, whatever that is,
Yes.
through muscle testing to guide us to one of these cards. Each of these cards represents something that could be in the way of you doing or achieving what you want.
Right.
And the muscle testing will stop us when we get to the right card.
Okay.
And because the subconscious remembers everything that happened to you, it remembers it in the energy of how it happened, and it's just there like a virus in your subconscious system. So this is a very simple, colourful, fun technique to dig out those viruses and kick them out.
Well, you know, it's funny that you mentioned the viruses because, you know, I'm a hypnotherapist and this is how I was trained, was to delete those viruses.
Yes.
But with hypnosis, it takes so much longer. And the beautiful thing about Fast Track is that it is really fast and you get to the answers or to the energies of what is causing the problem, what you call the root causes, very quickly. And I love that about Fast Track. Yeah.
What is the most amazing thing about Fast Track? It meets you exactly where you are. So I can work with people who have a high level of consciousness,
Right.
or they're working in jobs that I don't even have a clue about.
Right.
But I apply this system and it works because it is you having a conversation with you, and I'm just the interpreter, and I just get out of the way and I just ask, is it on line number 1? Is it on line number 2? Is it on line number 3?
Right.
And then we release it.
Fantastic, Jazz. Well, I know that all our viewers who are watching us now are really, I'm sure, excited to know how it all works. So, great.
So we're in for a treat. I don't often get a chance to demonstrate Fast Track, but thank you very much indeed. We've chosen a subject today that is close to both of our hearts. We realize that we have a similarity, and it's around being empowered, self-empowered as spiritual women, as spiritual leaders. And we believe that there are a lot of you out there, which doesn't mean to say that what you've done in the past hasn't worked. It has all worked. But we're speeding up now, and it's time to go really down into the dirt and to get that remaining stuff up. So Michelle very kindly offered to be the guinea pig for this. We already, using muscle testing, have numbers connected to her desired outcome. We're not interested, we know what the issue is, but what we want to know is, how does Michelle want to feel, and how lined up is her subconscious programming to what she wants. And it's a shock.
Yes, it is. It was. Oh my God.
So she is lined up with empowered. In her subconscious, only 45%. Which is a lot more than a lot of the collective out there, I will have you know. Indestructible, which is what she needs to be when she gets out there and she's in big crowds and stuff. People are going to be sending negative energy.
That's right.
And you need to be able to bounce back from that.
Absolutely.
And then of course, because of who you are, so Michelle is in alignment with indestructible, only 34%, which means she's going to get knocked over.
And I am. I'm getting knocked over by things, and I don't want that anymore. So, time to change.
Cool. All right. And the last one is, as it describes you to a T, joyfully inspired. And consciously, of course, that's what you want, but your subconscious is only allowing that, connected to self-empowerment, 45%.
Okay, wow.
So it means you're dragging your heels.
Absolutely, absolutely, Jazz.
And we're going to change that right now.
Fantastic.
So what I say to everybody is, we use crystals, we use magnets as releasing tools. Line number 1, 2, and 3, I'm going to do this fairly quickly, and we're going to use muscle testing based on those numbers that we already have.
Sounds
So,
great.
We know that Michelle is right-handed, and I'm just going to show you how this works. So could you just speak the truth? Please say my name is Michelle.
My name is Michelle.
Hold. Dead right. Can you say my name is Fred?
My name is Fred.
Hold. And you can see, absolutely.
It's like, it feels like my arm doesn't have any strength. It just wants to go down.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So that's how muscle testing works. So now we are going to find out, does Michelle have resistance to change connected to this issue?
Oh, I do. Oh, goodness.
Now this is in your subconscious, mainly. Is it more than 50%?
Ooh.
Is it more than 80%? Is it more than 90? Is it more than 95? 98? 99? 100%? So you have 99% resistance to change in your subconscious,
Wow.
which means even when you make the change, you won't be able to maintain it because the programming is still going on in there.
Right, right. Oh,
So
wow.
what we're going to do is we're going to pick up number 1 card. I'm going to hand this to you.
Okay.
I'm going to take this wand
Ah.
and I'm going to roll this down your back, and I'm going to ask you to repeat what I say and also add anything to it that you feel is appropriate. And this card releases resistance to change.
Okay.
Here we go. Phew. I fast track the release
I fast track the release
of all resistance to change,
of all resistance to change,
connected to self-empowerment
connected to self-empowerment,
and being who I truly am.
and being who I truly am.
I forgive myself
I forgive myself
and anyone who gave me the message
and anyone who gave me the message
that it wasn't safe
that it wasn't safe
to be empowered,
to be empowered,
to be an empowered woman.
to be an empowered woman.
And I give myself permission
And I give myself permission
to change
to change
now.
now. Wow, I can feel that, Jazz. Really can. It feels really nice, the energy. Okay.
Okay, so that's the resistance to change. Let's
Okay.
just check. Did we release the resistance to change? Is that now less than 5%? Is it a 0? It is.
That's incredible.
So that's the resistance to change, just connected to this issue, not
Okay.
across the board.
Right, okay.
So now we're going to find out. For Michelle to be empowered, indestructible, and joyfully inspired, do we go to line number 1? Yes, we do. Do we go to emotions? Do we go to beliefs?
I knew that was going to be that, beliefs and programs.
Do we go to programs, responses, and behavior patterns? Now those are all contained on this card.
Okay.
All right, that's a card we got led to.
Right, okay.
So the first thing I'm going to find out is if those are your beliefs.
Okay, that's good. Good question.
Are these Michelle's own beliefs, programs, and responses? Are they from this lifetime? Yes.
Oh, okay.
So, I wonder, did they come from a parent?
Yes.
I wonder, would that be a mother?
Yeah.
Do we need to know more? No. So you can see, this is what you love about Fast Track,
Yeah.
is as soon as consciousness knows there's enough information, forget the conscious mind and the curiosity. It's like, you can let that go now.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're going to do that.
Cool. Cool. I'm
There
ready.
we go. All right. I fast track the release
I fast track the release
of all limiting beliefs.
of all limiting beliefs.
And all beliefs are limiting.
And all beliefs are limiting.
All programs, responses,
All programs and responses
and behavior patterns.
and behavior patterns.
Absorbed from my mother.
Absorbed from my mother.
Learned from my mother.
Learned from my mother.
That no longer serve me.
That no longer serve me.
and my desire
and my desire
to be self-empowered,
to be self-empowered,
indestructible,
indestructible,
and joyfully
inspired.
I forgive her.
I forgive her.
I forgive all women
I forgive all women
who were brought up to believe
who were brought up to believe
that they should be second.
that they should be second.
And I choose.
And I choose
When would you choose?
to be self-empowered,
First.
to be indestructible, and to be joyfully inspired. I choose all of this now.
I release myself from the collective consciousness
I release myself from the collective consciousness
of disempowered women.
of disempowered women.
Now.
Now. Yeah. Now.
How's that feel?
Wow. I feel a little bit like I'm high or something. I feel really light and yeah, feels good.
Okay. So, we'll just check. Is there anything else we need to know around that one? No. Is there anything else for Michelle today? Just check that one again. Is there anything else for Michelle today?
There is.
Okay. Is it card number 1? Is it line number 1? Is it emotions? Is it beliefs? Okay, so I get what this is. Alright.
Oh.
Do we need to know more? Because consciousness knows that I know the answer to this. Because
Ah.
I understand the sequence, I understand this.
Right.
These cards are my friends. And so what you did, you learnt the beliefs, the programs and the responses from your mother, and then you took them on
Right.
for yourself.
So I solidified them into me and made them turn real for me when they were not mine.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. That's
And
big, Jazz.
That's very big. But it's
Yeah.
not unusual, is it?
Yeah. Wow. So do I need this card
So
again?
I think you need this card.
Okay.
I think you need the family card.
Yeah, that feels right.
And I think you need this card. And this card
What is that?
is outer resonance.
Oh, okay.
And this is coming out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
That comfort zone of disempowered women.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. That makes
Right.
sense to me. Okay.
And there's one, and this is a double bonus because of who you are.
Wow, she's just given it all.
And this is to surrender to who you are and why you're here.
And what does that say? Integration.
Yes. Yeah.
But to surrender to who I am and why I'm here. Wow, that's deep. Very deep. And profound. Yeah, very
It'll go
profound.
as deep as you can go.
Mm.
All right, so
Yeah.
I'm going to choose the playful one for this.
Okay, sounds
We've
good.
done the heavy work. This
Okay.
is fun. Here we go, and please feel free to add anything you want.
Okay, sounds good.
I fast-track the release
I fast-track the release
of all beliefs,
of all beliefs,
programs and responses.
programs and responses
held at a cellular level
held at a cellular level
in my body
in my body
from my mother.
from my mother.
I forgive her,
I forgive her,
and I choose to leave that comfort zone
and I choose to leave that comfort zone
of disempowered,
of disempowered,
second best.
second best. Oh, I can feel it, it's big.
And move into the vibration
And move into the vibration
of self-empowered,
of self-empowered,
indestructible,
indestructible,
and joyfully inspired.
and joyfully inspired.
What would you like to add to that?
And I disconnect myself from the collective consciousness of all women in the world who are disempowered. And I would like to contribute empowerment to myself and everybody in the world.
And when would you like to do that?
Right now. Wow. Wow. That's big. Yeah.
We've got one bit.
What did we forget?
And I choose
And I choose
to surrender
to surrender
to who I am,
to who I am,
my life purpose,
my life purpose,
and who I truly am,
and who I truly am,
and why I came.
and why I came. I choose all of this now.
Deeper.
Thank you.
So the only way to prove that this really works, some people can't feel energy, and this is why we calibrate things. We take percentages. And so we're just going to combine, if we have time,
Yes?
we're going to see what happened to Michelle's numbers.
Okay, wonderful. Wonderful. I'm ready. Okay.
So empowered, we had 45%.
Okay.
In your subconscious.
Okay.
Is Michelle aligned with empowered more than 60%? More than 70%? More than 90%? Sugar Bell 100%. Yay!
Wow. And you know, it actually feels like you're pushing harder this time.
I am.
So, yeah, interesting.
I am, just to make sure.
Yeah, that's good.
So
I like
that's
that.
gone from 45 to 100.
Wonderful.
Indestructible, that was the low one, that was 34.
Okay.
Okay, is Michelle in alignment with indestructible more than 50%? I'm going to go up to 80, up to 90. I'm going to go to 100.
Wow. That's amazing.
I can feel it.
Wow. Gosh, I can't wait to see how I am after all this and in the world, and when normally I'd be knocked down, and just seeing how it's different, you know, it'll be great. It'll be wonderful. Thank you.
And also knowing that it came from your mother.
Yeah.
It's not even yours. You
Yeah,
just developed it.
it makes sense to me. Yeah, really.
And women were like that. That's the way it was.
Right, right.
So nobody's fault here.
Mm.
All right, joyfully inspired.
Okay, here we go.
That was a 45. Now are we more than 90?
Woo.
Are we more than 98? Are we 100? Yay!
Wow, that's wonderful. And I just want to add to this is when I've done this with clients myself, it doesn't always go to 100%. So sometimes it doesn't quite make it there. So for me to have in one session have it go to 100% is fabulous, you know.
It means you were ready.
Yeah, I was ready.
But also it's a great point you brought up there, because what we've done is we have aligned you
Right.
with what you wanted. It doesn't mean to say that that's going to happen like instantly, but
Right.
you're lined up with it now.
Right.
You weren't lined up with it before.
Okay, got it.
And so the second part of Fast Track is to reprogram
Right,
the subconscious with
Right.
those 3 words.
right.
And that means that for a client, a Fast Track client, that they get their homework and they can help themselves on a
Okay.
daily basis, and they can look for the evidence of those 3 words in their life, and it shows up for sure.
Fantastic, fantastic. Thank you so much. And I know that you're heading to Hong Kong, and you go throughout all of Asia now, offering fast track technique courses and private sessions and other wonderful workshops. And so it's just it feels like fast track is really, really spreading and expanding. I know you also have somebody in America who is opening things up in America as well. So I just want all of the audience who's watching us today to know how to find out more about fast track technique. We have here some of the websites that you can find out more about fast track. www.fast and then track, TRACK, technique.com. We also have another website that you're doing together with a woman named Cindy who does source programming.
We do a lot of online work.
Yes, that's right. And that website is fasttrack.sourceprogramming.net. and programming has got 2 M's. And so finally, you can also find out more about membership on that site. And you can find out when the dates, upcoming dates will be for level 1 and level 2. If you'd like to learn fast track yourself, please check out Jaz's websites and find out where she will be in the world and when she will be doing her training. So thank you so much, and thank you to Naturally Better TV for sponsoring us for this Heal Yourself Now TV show. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you very much, and thanks for inviting me.
You're welcome.